All right. So let's go into third down. And this one's I've been waiting to talk about for the last week. Unfortunately, this fight has been announced right after I finished my podcast last week, so I couldn't put in the podcast. But I did talk about Mike Tyson potentially fighting Evander Holyfield a couple podcast episodes ago. And I'm glad that that fight's not happening because Evander Holyfield, he at the end of the day, he beat Mike Tyson fair and square twice early in his career, but he has no business in a boxing ring right now. Evander Holyfield has no business in a boxing ring right now, and let me tell you why. Because number one, Evander Holyfield, this is where I knew Evander Holyfield shouldn't have been in the boxing ring. He thought that Manny Pacquiao beat Floyd Mayweather that fight that they went against each other. That's how bad it is. Evander Holyfield, hope he's taking care of himself, but that's an embarrassment for boxing, and that lets me know that you're not in the right mental state. If you're thinking that Manny Pacquiao beat Mayweather in that fight, I don't know how the hell you had it 5-7 for Manny Pacquiao. I was barely able to find 3 rounds where Manny Pacquiao won. So I'm glad that Evander Holyfield's not getting in the ring. But much respect to Evander Holyfield, one of my favorite fighters, great champion, and I love the 30 for 30 they had on him on ESPN. So I have nothing but respect for Evander Holyfield, but I'm just glad that he's not getting in the ring. Now these two guys are going to get in the ring supposedly. So Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. on September 12th, an 8-round exhibition. I'm very skeptical with this fight. Very skeptical. I'm hearing reports that they've stated that they're gonna try not to knock each other out. But this is boxing, man. Mike Tyson is known for the power punch. I find it hard to believe that Mike Tyson would agree to something like that when that is basically his style of fighting. In close, power shots. It's very interesting to hear that. Hopefully that's not the case because it'll be a train wreck. It wouldn't be boxing if these guys aren't trying to beat each other. That's boxing. Power punches, knockdowns, knockouts. That's boxing. If they don't want to do that, then they don't need to be fighting. And to my knowledge, again, I've heard that they will be wearing protective headgear, which is great because again, both these guys are past 50, way past their prime, and shouldn't be in a boxing ring. But they are men. They're able to make their own decisions, and hopefully no one gets hurt during this fight. There's been conversations as far as which fighter has been better. Now that is debatable, right? Roy Jones, very gifted boxer, the better boxer of the two as far as talent wise, skill set, his boxing IQ. Roy Jones, I mean that's what it is. But Mike Tyson might be the most devastating puncher in boxing history. And that's a compliment. He's right there with Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder is there already. It's between those two for me as far as the most devastating power punch artist of all time. Mike Tyson, Deontay Wilder. Big ups to Deontay Wilder. Hopefully he redeems himself and gets the dub versus Tyson Fury. I can't see this man getting beat down again. That was painful to watch. So yeah, big ups to Deontay Wilder. But anyways, Mike Tyson, Roy Jones. This is not a free fight, ladies and gentlemen. This is an exhibition, but it's still gonna be for $49.99. And I believe the undercard for it, the co-main event, is going to be Jake Paul versus Nate Robinson. So for those of you that don't know, Jake Paul, YouTuber, all that stuff, and then Nate Robinson, former NBA player, I don't know. I don't know which fight would be better. You got two younger guys going at it. Probably a little bit more athleticism. But Mike Tyson and Roy Jones, that's a fight we wanted to see when they were both fighting. Not now, not after they're 50. I think Mike Tyson's in a good place. Roy Jones, I think, will never give up boxing, unfortunately, because now as these guys continue to box, especially Roy Jones, who's gotten knocked out on several occasions and has been fighting fans in some cases. I mean, this is taken away from your legacy. People are gonna remember you as the guy that went to Russia and got slept. I mean, you don't want to see that. Roy Jones has nothing left to prove in boxing. Neither does Mike Tyson. So these guys shouldn't be, going into the ring. This is like Grudge Match, that movie with Sylvester Stallone, and I think it's Robert De Niro's in that movie. Grudge Match. You don't want to see that. We want to see guys that are still fighting. Now, Mike Tyson is right. They'll be able to command some money. I'll give you that. People are going to buy this fight for $50. Not me. Not I. I will watch the replay, or I will attend some place that is showing the fight, but I will not be paying $50. So you could cancel that. But this one's an interesting fight, man. Mike Tyson, obviously, power punch. Looks like he still got it, on IG and all these videos I'm seeing. People are saying, oh, well, those are just clips, and, clips lie. They're like highlights. Yeah, I mean, I don't anticipate Mike Tyson looking like the Mike Tyson of old. But one thing that we do know is that Mike Tyson still got the power. You see his legs, still stocky. Punches are still sharp. The power is still there. Maybe not 100%, but it's still there. And we've seen Roy Jones' jaw or his chin. It's been deteriorating since he's retired, or at least retired when he was, fighting. Roy Jones have an opportunity to outbox Mike Tyson for 8 rounds, but if he gets caught, man, he's gonna be going to sleep, even with the protective headgear. I don't know. For this one, for me, I'm taking Mike Tyson, but I don't want to disrespect Roy Jones because I know what Roy Jones, his legacy is in boxing. I know what type of skills he has in boxing. It's not going to be, it's either going to be a decision for Roy Jones or it's going to be a knockout for Mike Tyson. So that's how I see the fight played out. I don't see Mike Tyson winning a decision. I don't see Roy Jones winning by knockout. It's just how it is. And I don't see either of them getting the loss from DQ. So those are the ways I see it. Mike Tyson knockout, Roy Jones decision. That's it. So if you're betting in Vegas, take those two. You're golden. You're getting dog money on both of them. But man, I don't know. This one's a tough one, man. I don't want to see these guys fight. I think that their legacy is set in stone for boxing, but I would be lying to say that I'm not interested in seeing the fight. I am interested, but at what cost, man? These guys are over 50. They shouldn't be in a ring. Their legacy is set in stone. They got nothing to prove. But as a boxing fan, we're gonna watch this thing, man, and we're gonna continue to get updates on these. So as I go through these podcasts week on week, up to September 12th, we're gonna discuss this, man. We're gonna discuss this because this is insane. This is insane. Thanks for stopping by. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button for more fire sports takes. And for those of you who are on the go, make sure you subscribe to our full show, which airs every Thursday on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and a bunch more. Until then, I'm chucking it up, and I'll see you guys next time.